making a game in 1 minute, 10 minutes, and 1 hour in the awesome no-code engine GDevelop. For the 1 minute game, my only goals were getting a working player character and platforms you could stand on. With that, it was time to work on the game. I started the timer and instantly began working on the player. I added the first character sprite I saw and then started working on the platforms. Time was already running out, so I had to make the character move and the platforms have collision before I added them to the scene. I quickly made a small little level and then made the camera centered on the player. By now, the timer was going off and it was time to check out the game. This was a pretty good game for 1 minute, and we were able to add both the things we wanted. Since we have much more time with the 10-minute game, I wanted to make it horror themed, add a player, platforms, and enemies. I started the timer and then worked on the basics like the player and the platforms. After I implemented those, I started working on the horror aspect of the game. Since I only had 10 minutes to work on this, all I did for horror was make the scene dark. I then added the enemy and made it so it can walk back and forth so that there is more challenge to the game. After working on the map for a bit, I decided to add some coins so there was something for you to collect. I only needed about 10 more seconds to finish adding the coin when the timer went off. Overall, this game could have been way better for 10 minutes. I did end up spending about a minute or two implementing something that didn't work, so I just had to scrap it, and it's incredibly hard to see where you're going. We got everything we wanted to implement into the game, and almost had enough time to add coins too. Although calling this game a horror game is a bit of a stretch. Now on to the 1 hour game. For this game, I wanted to make a more of a dark dungeon theme and add a gameplay loop like quests so there's actually a point to playing. I started the timer and spent a little while gathering all the assets I'd need. After getting all the assets I needed, I started working on a level and player movement. Building the map used up quite a lot of our time, so after I had built a decent amount, I started adding an NPC to talk to. I then tried adding gemstones for you to collect for the quest, but the way I was adding them didn't work, so I had to re-implement them a different way, which used up a lot of time. After I finished making the quest, I made a windscreen and a main menu, and I made them both pretty quickly, so they turned out janky. After I finished both the menus, my time was starting to run out, so I worked on expanding the map and making the quest take longer. Once I'd finished everything, it was time to start polishing up the game and adding sounds. Our hour's up, so it's time to show off the game. For a game made in just 1 hour, I think I did pretty good. There was some things I definitely could have done better, but overall we finished all the things we wanted to add and added extra stuff too. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.